Alright, and we'll be doing our Monday review, starting off with the Sunday open with our new weekly opening gap. We gapped up pretty high, leaving Asia high and Asia low. Very important that we leave Asia low inside of the new weekly opening gap, and you see how we did not close below that on the hourly chart. It used a new weekly opening gap as support into the hour SIBI above, just like we stated before, to continue the move first towards the New York lunch high, then towards the hour SIBI right here with a true week open right here. Okay, so we're going to be going over some of the best setups here on this day. I'm going to go to the 5-minute, open up drawings, and all this is just quadrants of the new weekly opening gap. We have the high and the low end, and I just use OTE on both sides. Alright, and that's just a way to gauge the PD array, especially if it's on the hourly or above. A pretty big PD array that we can gauge. You can do the same thing with the hourly SIBI, which we could draw it the higher end right there, which we don't really reach because it was nearing the end of the day, so I'm going to do the lower end as we actually first go into it. And as you can see, price is obviously bullish, but we do reference these quadrants, and we always will. I like to see a double tap in confirmation. As you can see, none of these actually offer that, and that's because price is bullish, right? So it wicks in starting off a manipulation leg down into a 5-minute busy, pushing price up, including macro time, which just speeds things up, right? Same thing for every macro. While we're in this buy program, we have a 5-minute busy right here, push up, including the macro time. Same thing here, we have a busy with the OTE levels drawn from the hour SIBI, which we leave New York lunch low, which is okay. And it's actually it's kind of indicative of an actual price run that it's going to start, for price to leave a low or high and for it to be taken later on in the week, right? And as you can see, like, once we're in this buy program for the entire day, for the rest of the day, we're going to manipulate a low. So we're going to create New York lunch low and leave it without taking it again. At a key time, which is the end of the macro 12:10. You can see that it leaves it right there. Okay. Same thing for New York PM. We reference 50% CE of the hour SIBI. Alright, so we pushed up, found support with this 5-minute busy as long with the hour SIBI CE levels, which is why we souped out down here, taking out all the stops from this 5-minute. We referenced the hour, but the 5-minute still holds up, right? Okay. And let's go into the actual morning to see like how we would play this out. So coming from the new weekly opening gap, once we actually took Asia low, we souped out that low that was first put in here, right before CE. So price comes all the way down to this level, right? And we find support along the way. This is pretty early in the morning, so we wouldn't be watching this or anything, but this is something that happened in the charts, and we have to be aware of to form a bias. price is finding support in this new weekly opening gap, and stated from the news, Monday can continue the profile, which was first this draw, and then second CE, but really it would be the true week opening right here. Okay, and we stated that with the weekly outlook, if you want to go back and look. Okay, so going into the actual morning, let's say, I don't really wake up till like 7:30, 7:40 type thing. So, we're not really opening the charts until, let's say, 8 a.m., right? So we have to notice, like, what is price doing, right? And first off, we have London high with relative equal highs along with the New York PM high. So, we have stacked session draws above. So London, PM, and lunch up here. And we already stated that lunch was going to be our minor draw on liquidity for Monday. This is because the hour SIBI is above with true week opening above, right? So this being the actual draw on liquidity and this being the minor draw, right? You can consider London high the minor draw as well. So going into the actual morning, after the 750 to 810 macro, price spools up and has like a shallow tap into London high, which produces this manipulation leg down. So price finds support with this protected low right here. This is an order block, but as you can see, this is a 5-minute SIBI that swept out and pushed up and created this order block. So we can say that these lows are protected because of the whole storyline down here, right? That price actually found support in this new weekly opening gap, so we have no need to come back down into any of this area, right? It's already painted everything it's needed to do in this area, okay? So after this shallow tap, if you weren't able to catch this move up, which I was not, you can wait for price to prove that it's going to enter another buy program, right? We really wouldn't want to be getting in on the sell program right here because this is just a manipulation leg, manipulation into distribution, right? So, you would just have to wait for key time and key price to occur, right? So, key time for here is the 850 to 910 macro, okay? So it doesn't mean to just buy at 850 or anything like that, but it's just to read price action during this time because this is when price is going to spool the most, or it's going to form a setup possibly, okay, which it does. So from the protected low, this order block down here to New York AM high, the sweep out of the high up here that started the manipulation leg, price pushes down into our OTE levels, our 709 to be exact, and we wick it right here at the 5-minute. There's a small 5-minute gap right here that price actually holds up as well. So it would be the OTE trade for right here for this macro, and the continuation is right here. You can see that we push up with candle bodies. We don't just wick it out. This is super important, and it shows that price has more of a bullish signature than a bearish signature, right? So on this run down lower, we can see that it's running inefficiently. We have wickless candles, a VI, right? These are places that price is gonna want to revisit, right? So once it does its thing down here in the 5-minute gap, which we can say that, oh, hey, if this is going to be the continuation move, then this low is protected, right? If we actually look, let's change the color right here. No, I don't like that. Or that. Let's do that. Okay. can see that we reference the 618 level, which is the higher threshold of OTE, right? And this happens at 9:30, by the way, which you don't really have to be scared of 9:30 or anything like that, as long as you're in long on side with order flow and being at break even at an appropriate time, which is SysD and market structure shift confirmation, which would be the break of this high, making this the order block and these the protected lows, right? If you were getting them right here, let's say if you were getting right here, it would be at the break of this, you would go break even from down here somewhere. Okay, so continuing, price pushes up into the hour SIBI, right? We form a 5-minute gap right here, so same thing, we have to incorporate key time and key price. These are protected right here. This low, this 9:30 low, is protected for the day. We can draw our OTE levels from the protected low to the start of the manipulation leg, right? We tell this is a manipulation leg by tapping into one of our key levels inside of the hour SIBI since it's so large, which is the 088 level. We don't get a double tap in, which is okay because this is just a manipulation leg, right? So same thing, key time is the 950 right here. We find support after, and it's actually the soup inside of this 5-minute busy, and it respects the 0618 level as well, right at 950, so pretty good. Let's keep going. Alright, continuing into the day, we have another macro, key time, right? And what would our key price be? We have market structure shift occurring with a SysD right here, right? It's super important. We can see that we actually break through this pretty heavily with a gap, right? So this is a model in itself with the market structure shift confirmation, SysD confirmation with a gap, okay? Which is why this worked out so well. We have 1050 to 1055, tap into the 5-minute gap and push price higher for the rest of the day, okay? And we find support at, this is really good, we have already went over this though, but we find support at the 618 level, leaving New York lunch low at 1210 to be exact, right? And price continues all the way until 355, so 4 o'clock, which is where volatility was cut off, and we start our consolidation phase because we tapped into true weekly open, which was our draw. So our draw was met right here. The next push up from New York PM, introducing previous day's high, which is considered today's high or whatever you want to call it at the time, for price to just consolidate down up in here. Since it has been super bullish, the entire morning session, we can expect some type of push down. You could say that New York PM is going to be our minor draw, and then New York lunch is going to be our draw on liquidity, right? So going into Tuesday, for tomorrow, we do expect some type of manipulation. either that's going to be to the downside or the upside. It depends on what the overnight price does. But we can just expect a manipulation to target the opposing liquidity pool, whichever that may be. It could be previous day high, it could be previous day low. We would just have to see what the price action does. But for now, we can say that the draw is going to be lower. Now, in the morning, if we've already reached these draws and we're in discount and expect a premium run, same thing for the opposing direction. Let's say we just push up for some odd reason, take previous day high, then we'll be in premium to discount. Also, be aware of our ERL to IRL runs for the day, including the higher time frame objectives and POIs. Yeah. And that concludes Monday's market review, going into Tuesday's outlook.